When you first log into the platform, you'll be asked to confirm your opening balances of credits or permits. This is a view of all of the publicly available credits and permits we have for you as a user. All of the data we currently have in SWaN comes from publicly available sources, which we know can be inaccurate. Because of this, we ask you to verify your credits and permits when you first log into the platform, so we can trust that the data is accurate and reliable moving forward. To do this, simply click the View button to review the data we have on file. If something looks off or incorrect, all you have to do is hit the Dispute button. This will engage the proper individual at DEQ to address the issue. You can also upload evidence to this message system that will be shared with DEQ to address this issue. Alternatively, if everything looks correct, you can confirm that the balances are correct. If you have multiple banks or permits, you will need to confirm all of them before having full access to the SWaN platform's full trading functionality. However, you may still access the SWaN dashboard and market analytics at any time by clicking the Cancel button at the bottom of this screen. This is a banker's personal credit summary dashboard. Permittees have a similar but slightly different dashboard that we'll show later on in the presentation. Here you can see all of your credits at a glance, as well as filter your view by credit class, credit product, Rivershed, and Huck. You can see information such as how many credits you have available for sale, how many credits you have under contract, and how many of your credits are currently reserved. You also can see how many credits you sell per customer and per year. These analytics are filtered by credit class, product, Rivershed, and Huck as selected above. Below this, we have the overall market summary. These analytics are also filtered by your selections above. The main metrics we're looking at here are credit supply, credit demand, historical transaction volumes, and price. You can select up to 20 years in the past for the historical transaction volumes. For the price graph, which is below, we are displaying historical transaction prices. In this case, the purple line represents historical transaction price data for advanced non-title credits across all of Virginia. The red line represents the 3-month moving average for non-title wetland credits. Moving on to the final piece of this initial dashboard is the mapping supply and demand modal. Here, a banker can easily find permits that require their credits by simply selecting their bank from the drop-down menu. The buildings on the map represent permits that can be fulfilled by this bank's credits, as well as some of the details of the permit itself. In this case, it looks like the permit falls within the bank's primary service area. The banker can get in touch with this permittee by clicking the View button. This view allows the banker to see the contact information of a permittee, contact the permittee directly in the platform, and even make an offer to the permittee directly. By clicking the Contact button, the system opens an internal messaging service that acts just like an email, so that the banker and the permittee can work out some of the details, answer any questions that one another might have, and generally show interest. You can also upload evidence or attachments here, just as you would in an email. If the banker would like, they can actually make an offer directly from this screen to the permittee. I'd like to stress here that this is just an offer. There's no transaction of funds on this platform, and all financial settlements happen off of this platform. But we can make an offer to sell credits as a banker to the permittee directly via a spot trade, a reservation, a futures contract, or an options contract, as seen in this drop-down menu. For the sake of this example, we'll choose a spot contract, but the fundamentals stay the same throughout. Here we'll put the number of credits that we would like to sell to the permittee. We'll put 0.46 as that would satisfy their permit. Next, we'll input the price per credit that we would like to offer to the permittee for these credits. Then we can click this Add to Cart button, which will populate these fields below. We can indicate a deposit percentage, and we can indicate a desired settlement date for this contract. Once we have everything in line, we can make the offer to the permittee using the same internal messaging service. Next, we have the banks page, which displays all banks that an individual has in their wallet. If you are missing a bank in your wallet, click the Request Bank Access button here. This will allow you to either add an existing bank to your wallet or request to create a new bank and add it to your wallet. This request will be sent to DEQ, who will review the request and its supporting evidence before making a decision. You can also view the details of an existing bank in your wallet. These details include contact information, inventory levels, credit releases, price data where applicable, historical withdrawals, customers that you've serviced from this bank, and the market share that the bank comprises in the state, its watershed, and its HUC. The Market Analytics dashboard gives us some interesting insights. We can again filter by credit class, product, rivershed, and HUC. We can see credit availability, permit requirements, volume trends, price trends, and the current market balance. If the market ratio, which is down here, is above 1, we understand that there is an oversupply in the market. If it is below 1, it means there is an undersupply. As we scroll down, we can see other insights, such as the total number of trades this year, the average volume, and the average price. We can also see who the top buyers and sellers of credits are by volume. Beyond that, we have credit outlook dynamics and credit balance dynamics. These aim to give us a clear picture as to what future supply and demand might look like. Once again, we expect the integrity of these data to increase as participation on the platform increases. For permittees, the My Credit Summary page is very similar. A permittee can see how many credits they need to fulfill their permits based on the same filters as before. They have access to the same market analytics as well. We've also made it possible for a permittee to easily find a bank that can satisfy their permit requirements using the same geographic interface. All a permittee has to do is select a permit from the drop-down menu. This will populate the map with banks that have credits that might potentially fulfill their credit requirements. From here, the permittee selects one of these banks and clicks the View button. This allows the permittee to see the bank's details, including contact information and inventory levels. A permittee can message the banker by clicking the Contact button or submit an offer of their own based on their credit requirements and the bank's credit availability. Permittees can manage their permits on the Permits page. If you are missing a permit in your wallet, click the Request Permit button. This will allow you to either add an existing permit to your wallet or create a new permit. This request will be sent to DEQ, who will review the request and its supporting evidence. Permittees can also view the details of a specific permit, such as the type, reference number, opening confirmation status, the contact information that's listed on rivets, and the permit requirements. On the market availability dashboard, bankers and permittees can easily see things like the total supply of credits in a specific HUC, manage active trades, and see open trade opportunities. The goal of the Open Trade Opportunities section is to connect buyers and sellers. As a permittee, I can see banks with credits that satisfy my permit requirements. These banks are prioritized by the regulations related to my permit, so banks in my permit's primary service area will show up as a priority 1, while banks in a secondary service area or advanced credits will show up as a lower priority later in this list. Similarly, banks can see a prioritized list of permits that could be satisfied by their bank's credits.